Hello there everyone and welcome back to my latest video. Bit of a strange one for me today because I've been pondering something over the last few weeks and months, and it's really something that I've not been able to wrap my head totally around, and that is, why is there no server browser in Battlefield 2042? Now when I say that, obviously there's a server browser in Portal and I do a lot of work in the logic editor and Portal. That's the vast majority of my content that I do in this channel. But we also know that there's no server browser in the all-out warfare section of the game. And just recently Lossy put out a video where he polled his community through Twitter and asked them to give some community feedback on the kind of features that they think should be in 2042 and that are still missing. Now 2042 has gone through quite a bit of improvements recently, and I will say that I enjoy playing it at the moment. The exposure map is significantly better, the feel of the game is getting better. There's still a lot of work to do, but the community's feedback on that Twitter poll asked for all sorts of stuff: new content, more maps like exposure, squad based stuff, platoons and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of the feedback came asking for a server browser in all-out warfare. So here's the question: why would you not add a server browser in all-out warfare when the whole of the community is asking for one? I even want one. Why would you not add it? So in this video I'm going to give you the one simple reason why I believe that currently they haven't added a server browser, and why we probably won't see a server browser in all-out warfare for a significant amount of time in 2042, if not ever. Before I continue, please do consider clicking the like button. It helps me no end with the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new here or you've been here before and haven't done it yet, please do click the subscribe button. It really helps me on my way towards 1,000 subscribers. It doesn't cost you anything and I will honestly be eternally grateful to you. If you're new here, I usually do tutorials on the logic editor on how to use Portal, and I keep churning those out. And I do occasionally keep up to date with news and look at new features that have been added. So today's a bit of a tangent for me, but I really wanted to get my thoughts out on here. It's been bugging me for a little while and I want to share them with you and see what you think. Right, let's crack on with the video. So very quickly, for those of you that don't know what we're talking about when we talk about the server browser, and I suspect given the type of people that visit my channel, that's going to be only a handful of you. But what we're talking about now really is, rather than going through the standard matchmaking process in the game, you'll have experienced this in most of the battlefields that you want. You just select the game that you want to play from the main menu. And if we just have a quick look at Battlefield 2042, if we go into the all-out warfare, we've got a small selection of options that we can choose from. We click the game mode that we want to play and automatic matchmaking begins. So what happens then is the game itself goes through an automatic matchmaking process and places you in a server that it has determined is the most suitable. It might be one that has enough players to start the game, or it might be trying to fill a server up from new, but you don't really have any control over where you end up. The server browser does away with that, and what I'm going to do is we're just going to have a quick look in Battlefield 5 to give you a little bit of a rundown. And if we just have a look at the Battlefield 5 server browser as we're working through it, you'll get kind of close to the point that I'm going to make shortly. So here we are in the Battlefield 5 menu, and you can see we can do the same thing, just select multiplayer, and we can select the mode that we want to play. What if we want to be able to select something a little bit more specific than that? We want to find a specific server running a specific game mode and make sure that it's got enough space for me and my 4 friends to join, or whatever that might be. So we can do that if we click on the advanced search button, and this takes us into the filter that allows us to look at all of the servers that are currently running on the DICE platform, or whatever you want to call it, and see what they are currently running and how many players are in there. Now I'm a big Frontlines fan. Really like Frontlines. I'm really sad that they got rid of that, but obviously it's been mainly replaced with Breakthrough, so I play a lot of Breakthrough. So in the server browser now, we can filter by Breakthrough, find all the maps in Europe, and here are all the games that are running Breakthrough in Europe. This is great. I can see how many players are playing and I can pick which map I want to play. But what happens if I alter the filters now and I want to see all of the game modes, all of the servers that are running across the entire servers set, servers in America or wherever. Well, I can do that by just taking all of the filters off. So I'm going to take all the filters off now. As I do this, it's worth bearing in mind that we're really just looking at the PlayStation platform, because obviously Battlefield 5 isn't cross-platform. But if I just take all of the filters off, we can see that there are 100 plus servers currently running on the PlayStation platform. And we can just scroll down these and we can see which maps, which modes, and what the ping's like on that particular server. If I want to join a server in America, I can do. If I want to join a server in Europe, I can do. If I want to join a server that has very few players in to get a lot of players in, I can do. And you can appreciate this flexibility of being able to find a server is really appreciated by the community. So now for comparison, let's have a look at what we get in 2042. So here we are in the main screen of 2042. We were just here before, and you can see if I select All Out Warfare, our options are very, very limited. You can pick the game mode that you want to play from the 4 that are there, and really it's only 2 choices on this All Out Warfare mode. And I know we get more options in Portal, we'll come to that in a minute, but we select the option that we want, press X, automatic matchmaking starts. There's no chance to browse or have a look at which servers are running and pick the server that we want to. Now we do have a server browser in 2042, and if we move over to Portal, we can see that server browser running. I do have crossplay turned on, so at the moment we're looking at all of the servers that are currently running with crossplay, so that's across PC, PlayStation 5 and Xbox, all of those platforms. And these are the community games, or the custom servers that have been set up by players. These are not the official DICE experience servers. The official servers run, for example, by Ripple Effect, either through the Portal experiences. These are just the ones that have been set up by the players. So we can list all of those, and you can see we get the same information from this as we do in Battlefield 5 or previous Battlefields if you want to go a little bit further back, and we can filter by game mode, by ping. So the technology's there, if you want to put it that way, to be able to add a server browser to the game. Now anybody that knows a little bit of background will know that the Portal platform and the All Out Warfare platform are slightly different. It's not like the browser can be simply transferred from Portal, or at least I don't believe it can be, into All Out Warfare. And that's one of the reasons why some of the content that's added to the All Out Warfare section doesn't automatically appear in the Portal section for the users of Portal. But that doesn't mean it can't be done. Clearly it's possible to have a list of servers that are running in All Out Warfare and add a server browser. It shouldn't be too much of a stretch. So here's the question and the crux of this video, I guess. Why is there something that is desperately asked for by the community on a regular basis and proven by Loss's video and everybody else? I think if you're sat there and you know a little bit about Battlefield, you'd be thinking, why don't we have a server browser? Why, when everybody wants a server browser in All Out Warfare, and most people do, are DICE not even talking about it? And the answer is simple: player numbers. That's it, player numbers. If we take a little bit of a look back at Battlefield 5 and that little clip that I showed you earlier on, if we list all of the servers across the whole platform in every mode, those that are full and those that are empty, we can sort that by player numbers, we can count up the number of players that are currently playing, and we have a really good idea about how many players are currently playing on the PlayStation platform at any one time. And that's just information that DICE don't want to get out there. Don't blame them, to be honest. We all know, it's not a big secret, we all know that player numbers are low across all platforms. They're improving, the game is improving, and it's my hope that eventually things will pick up as more content is added and things get a little bit better. But the simple fact is, player numbers are really low, and that's what a server browser would show. Now, to add to this, I do think there's a couple of further points to be made on the back of the player numbers. Now, clearly, that information they don't want readily available. There have been videos in the past that big creators have done that have actually done this and counted the player numbers and used that in their videos, not as ammunition, but basically to demonstrate the issues with a particular game. You know, to say only this many players are currently playing on Battlefield 5. You can get those figures from Steam quite easily, but on console platforms it's a little bit more difficult. You've got to do a little bit of adding up yourself. But that information is not information that they want out. Now, I do think that they may well have wanted to add a server browser at some point. Why not? Everybody wants one. So you'd go into All Out Warfare, you'd be able to select your server browser and pick whichever server you wanted to play on. But here's the other problem with player numbers. If there are only a handful of players playing, there are only a handful of servers running. So what point is adding a server browser anyway? Because if there are only 3 servers currently running, and of those servers 2 are currently full, you don't really have that much of a choice in which server you are going to join anyway, because, well, you're limited to a server. So why bother adding a server browser when it's kind of pointless? It's going to show people just how many players are currently playing, and maybe that's information that you don't want to get out. And it's also going to be pointless for the players anyway. Now, it's my hope that as time increases, we do see the purpose in adding a server browser for communities like mine, for squads, for platoons, which they desperately need to add. Being able to browse through the servers, select maps, especially as the map count hopefully grows. It's invaluable for players to be able to do what they want. And we know we can run those things through the Portal platform. And I actually think that we'll probably see more of a merging of the Portal platform as we move forward. All Out Warfare kind of disappear in importance possibly, and Portal become more of the platform of choice. But all of that's a bit of a digress. At the moment, I don't think we're going to see a server browser anytime soon in All Out Warfare. We may not see a server browser ever in All Out Warfare, because at the moment, why would we add one? Right, that's the end of my thoughts today. It really was a bit of a ramble. I'm sorry. I hope I've made my point. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below if you have any thoughts on this. Do you think that I'm right? I don't want to put words into people's mouths, so, you know, please tell me if I'm totally wrong and I've totally missed the point. It's really just a theory at the minute. I've been pondering and I just wanted to get those thoughts out to you and see what you think. As always, if you like the content, please do click the like button. It does help me get my videos seen by more people. And if you want to hear more of my thoughts and learn a little bit about Portal in the process and the logic editor, click the subscribe button. I've got regular content coming up, and I do really appreciate every subscribe that I get on my way towards 1,000 subscribers. Thanks for joining me today. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll speak to you later on in my next video. Ta-ra for now.